Hey guys, today I'll be answering this question of how do you find a reason to live fully in the real world as a Maladaptive Daydreamer? As I said before, motivation is actually a very hard component to have for most daydreamers. Like motivation to live in this real world because they've neglected the real world for a very long time and because real world is challenging. So how do you really find the motivation? Actually, the first thing to do is look at let's not just start with yourself because starting with yourself may really be challenging. Let's start with the people around you. Is there any person around you who you really feel that you care about? You really feel that deserves most of your time? It can be your best friend, it can be your parents, it can be your kids, it can be your colleagues, or just that anyone. It can even be just that. Look for that constant. It can even be God. Just look for that constant. That constant where you really feel like you care about so much, like you want to be more present to them. So when you look at that constant, use that constant as a motivation to manage your daydreaming or a motivation to be fully present in this real world, because managing your daydreaming is equivalent to being present or fully present in this real world. So when you know that I want to do this for my kids, I want to do this for so that I can be more spiritual, or so that I can go to church more, or so that I can be with my friends or spend time with my friends, or so that I can look for a better job for my family, or so that I can have more money. Just initially, you can start with those kind of extrinsic motivational factors, like external. Just look at them. Is there anything? Would you like to travel the world? Would you like to do just something you'd like to do? Look for it. And then now use that as the fuel to manage your daydreaming, or use that as the reason why you want to manage your daydreaming. Slowly by focusing on that reason, you'll start to come back to yourself. Because if you start with yourself, you look at life being so miserable. Like you may be hating yourself because you can't manage it. You may be angry at yourself. You may really feel that you are really stuck and you can't stop it. But when you look at something which is external of you, it can initially help you and give you that fuel for wanting to manage your daydreaming, because you are not doing it for you, and because you are doing it for someone you care about. Hope that makes sense. Another thing is, if you really can't find any motivation, which is on the positive side, let's look at the negative side, because pain is a very great motivator. But don't do this in a way you're hurting yourself. It's just that sometimes you may really lack this motivation to do it. Look at the pain you're experiencing after the daydream. Look at the days you've lost. Look at the number of hours you've lost in that imaginary world. Look at the money you've lost. Look at the friends you've lost. Not in a way of traumatizing yourself, but it's just a way of bringing to your awareness the things you will lose if you keep daydreaming. So you're looking at what you've lost, but you're also now projecting and like saying that if I keep doing this, engaging in this uncontrollable behavior for the next 5 years, how will my life be like? Of course, you'll be on meds, you'll be doing all those things, you'll have lost friends, you'll be having no relationships, no career, you might even end up going to the streets. So when you really project now in 5 to 10 years, and you know that something about an addictive behavior is, it doesn't simply go away, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Now imagine 10 years from now as a daydreamer, how many years will you have lost? Where will you be with your health, with your self-care? Of course, you'll be in a lot of pain. So just looking at that, looking at the things you will lose, may spring you to may bring you to this realization that actually managing your daydreaming should be a priority of yours in your life and not something to be pushed aside. So you're not looking at the pain to traumatize yourself. You're just looking at it just to give you that initial spark that, hey, this thing, I've got to stop it. So you can look at pain as a motivation, or look at the people you care about or the things you want to do in life as motivation. So it can be positive or negative. That's how you really motivate yourself. But when you can't really look, just do it. Just look for a good therapist and just surrender and say like, hey, I just want to stop this thing. And then slowly by slowly, that therapist can guide you and point to you the motivational factors. And that's what I normally do during those breakthrough calls. I guide someone to understand their motivation. Because sometimes when you're really stuck in a box so much, or when you're stuck with an addictive behavior, you really think that there's nothing to live for. But that breakthrough call helps you to just find that motivation on why you really need to manage this behavior. So if you are ready to work for this, just book a free breakthrough call with me and you will understand that there's actually something to live for. Until next time, guys, have a nice day, and as always, feel free to ask those questions and I'll answer the best of my knowledge. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful day.